Many stars turn to alcohol after becoming famous, whether as a result of performance anxiety or some other issue that may or may not have to do with success itself. Join Facts First as we take a look at celebrities who died from alcohol. Barbara Payton. At the height of Barbara's fame, she was a notable film star that could be seen socializing with superstars like Gary Cooper, Gregory Peck, and Frank Sinatra. She began her acting career in the late 40s and quickly gained attention for her striking looks and captivating on-screen presence. But her life took a downward turn when she became involved in a tumultuous and highly publicized affair with actor Franchot Tone, who was married at the time. Payton's relationship with Tone resulted in a significant decline in her career prospects. She struggled with alcoholism and a reputation for being difficult to work with, which further hindered her chances of landing significant roles. As her personal and professional life spiraled out of control, Payton became entangled in a series of failed relationships and encounters with various men, including a short-lived marriage to talent agent Don Ross. Unfortunately, Payton's downward spiral continued, and she found herself in dire financial straits. In 1967, she was discovered in a rundown apartment in Los Angeles, suffering from malnutrition and alcohol-related health issues. She was destitute and had been working as a barmaid and a prostitute to make ends meet. Tragically, on May 8, 1967, Barbara passed away at age 39 due to heart and liver failure caused by years of alcohol abuse. Oliver Reed. Oliver Reed was a British actor known for his rugged charm, powerful performances, and a notorious reputation for excessive drinking and alcohol-fueled escapades. Reed had a long and successful acting career, but it was often overshadowed by his battles with alcoholism. His introduction to alcohol came during his teen years, and he quickly developed a taste for heavy drinking. As he entered the world of acting, his love for alcohol became intertwined with his public image, earning him a reputation as a hard-drinking hellraiser. Reed's excessive drinking led to a series of notorious incidents both on and off the screen. He was known for his confrontational and unpredictable nature, which often caused disruptions on film sets and strained relationships with colleagues. Tragically, his battle with alcoholism came to an end on May 2, 1999, while he was in Malta filming the movie Gladiator. Reed, then 61 years old, spent the evening drinking with friends at a local pub. Reports suggest he had consumed a significant amount of alcohol, including several bottles of rum. Later that night, he suffered a heart attack and died. Veronica Lake. Veronica Lake got to experience legitimate Hollywood stardom, but that doesn't make her eventual demise from alcoholism and schizophrenia much less tragic. During her final years, she was holed up in her home, believing the government was spying on her. This came after her iconic appearances in films such as This Gun for Hire and The Hour Before Dawn. She had been one of the biggest names in Hollywood during the 1940s, but her career suffered alongside her personal life in the 50s. She began suffering from schizophrenia, and this was made worse by the fact that she was a very heavy drinker. She died in 1973 at age 50. She had only appeared in a small handful of films since 1952 and had lived her final years in a state of alcohol addiction and loneliness. Her family financially struggled to bury her. Her estranged son reportedly had to take out a loan to fly to where his mother's body was located, and she was then cremated. Some claim her ashes were sold to fans. Hank Williams. Hank Williams was a singer-songwriter and one of the most influential figures in country music history. His soulful voice and heartfelt lyrics touched the hearts of millions, but his life was tragically marked by a severe struggle with alcoholism. His addiction began to take hold of his life in the late 40s as he rose to fame with hit songs like Lovesick Blues and Hey Good Lookin'. Initially, alcohol provided an escape from the pressures of his demanding career and his personal troubles, but his reliance on alcohol grew increasingly destructive over time. His struggles became more apparent as his behavior grew increasingly erratic. He'd often miss shows or arrive on stage drunk, leading to a decline in his reputation and strained relationships with his band members and business associates. His personal life also suffered as he went through a series of failed marriages and turbulent relationships. On January 1, 1953, at age 29, Hank Williams tragically passed away. The official cause of death was listed as heart failure, but his struggle with alcoholism undoubtedly played a significant role. Curly Howard. Curly Howard was a member of the iconic comedy trio The Three Stooges. But behind the scenes, he battled with alcoholism, which greatly impacted his life and contributed to his decline in health. His struggle with alcohol began in the early 30s, during the early days of his career with the Stooges. As they gained popularity, Curly found solace in heavy drinking as a means to cope with the pressures of fame and personal challenges. His alcohol consumption gradually increased over time, leading to significant physical and emotional consequences. He suffered weight gain, high blood pressure, and other complications associated with heavy drinking. Additionally, his excessive consumption affected his mental and emotional well-being, leading to mood swings and difficulties on set. His declining health forced him to retire from acting in 1946. He experienced a series of strokes that further debilitated him and resulted in a significant decline in his physical and mental faculties. On January 18, 1952, at age 48, Curly Howard passed away due to complications from a cerebral hemorrhage, directly related to his long-standing battle with alcoholism. Billie Holiday. One musician who could likely have outdrank any one of her contemporaries in Hollywood was jazz singer Billie Holiday. Billie was addicted to alcohol and sex, as well as a variety of illicit substances. She used her success to fund her partying, but tried her best not to let her habits affect her artistic output. Still, she couldn't stop the negative health effects that her many years of partying were taking on her body. She started out on the music scene as a nightclub singer before finding success and dropping out of high school. She started drinking at an early age and turned to opium after being introduced to it by a partner. She passed away in the late 50s after being admitted to the hospital with both liver and heart disease. Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn was an actor known for his charismatic presence and swashbuckling roles in films like The Adventures of Robin Hood and Captain Blood. Flynn was known for his love of parties, heavy drinking, and a hedonistic approach to life. Alcohol became a constant companion, providing temporary escape from personal and professional pressures. Throughout his career, Flynn's alcoholism began to take a toll on his work. He developed a reputation for being unreliable on set, often arriving late or not showing up at all due to the effects of his drinking. Despite his talent and leading man status, his behavior became increasingly erratic. His personal life also suffered due to his alcoholism. He went through a series of failed marriages and had a reputation for womanizing. His excessive drinking contributed to a turbulent personal life, marked by broken relationships and legal troubles. As Flynn's health deteriorated, he attempted to address his alcoholism and sought treatment in various rehab programs, but relapses became a recurring pattern. The consequences of his addiction caught up with him in the later years. On October 14, 1959, at age 50, Errol Flynn passed away. The official cause of death was a heart attack, but his chronic alcohol abuse undoubtedly played a significant role. Ron Pigpen McKernan. Ron Pigpen McKernan was best known as a founding member of the iconic rock band The Grateful Dead. He played a significant role in shaping the band's sound. He was known for his bluesy vocals, exceptional harmonica skills, and his ability to infuse the music with a raw and gritty energy. But behind the scenes, he struggled with alcohol addiction. His alcoholism became increasingly apparent as the Grateful Dead gained popularity in the 60s and 70s. He was notorious for his heavy drinking, which often led to erratic behavior and impaired performances. Despite his talent and musical contributions, his addiction began to strain relationships within the band and affected the overall dynamic. Tragically, his life was cut short by his battle with alcoholism. On March 8, 1973, at age 27, he passed away due to a gastrointestinal hemorrhage, which was a complication related to his alcohol abuse. Now it's time to hear from you. Are you a fan of any of these celebs? Did you know about their alcohol troubles? Let us know in the comments section below.